We come from a diverse world of differing experiences, personalities, beliefs, and perspectives. How can we prepare our students to thrive here? The counter story and the CPV. What are they? What are their pros and cons? Should we use them in teaching? Hughes and Hassel introduces the counter story in multicultural young adult literature. Counter storytelling is telling stories from people who are not often heard. Minority, people in the background of history, not the winners. On page 11, Hughes Hassel says that counter stories act as both a mirror and a window. A mirror allows teens of color and indigenous peoples to reflect on their own experiences, and a window provides opportunity for white teens to view the experiences of others. This text becomes a tool for a conversation across racial and ethnic groups. This is huge. As teachers, we are always looking for ways to relate literature and content to our students. And we aren't teaching just the majority. We aren't teaching winners. We're teaching all people from all backgrounds. And it's important to give them stories that they can connect to, that they can learn from, and that they can find real life application for. Hughes Hassel says that all students are going through self-discovery, but multicultural teens have their self-identity involved in race and culture, whereas white teens skip that. I don't know if I necessarily agree, though being white, I can't say that I understand the other perspective, but I think race has to do with everyone's identity discovery. However, white people come in already accepted into society with an automatic pride that they probably need to uncover and humble in their interactions with others. Those who are not from white, who've come from other races, they come in with their skin color being a burden and a blame. So it's positive and negative, but not necessarily present and non-present. On page 15, Hughes Hassel says that multicultural literature as a counterstory can make the oppression and victimization of people of color and indigenous peoples visible to themselves and to the majority culture. Being aware is the first step to social change. If we know harm is happening, it is more likely that we can help. But we also know that having a problem being visible does not necessarily fix it. As teachers, we have to be advocates for our students. We need to start these conversations. We need to lead students to mindsets of respect and compassion for all humans. And one way we can do this is through CPVs. In Jacqueline Darvin's book, Teaching the Tough Issues, she introduces the CPV. The CPV stands for Cultural and Political Vignettes. On page 3, CPVs are defined as potential cultural and or political situations, real or imagined, that present to students complex decisions so that they have to make and they can increase their skills in today's diverse classrooms, schools, and communities. They need those skills. The CPVs invite students to engage in dialogue, problem pose, and problem solve through the use of controversial issues. These skills are necessary for life. Students need to be able to use their voice, have an opinion, be confident in what they believe, why they believe it, and be able to respectfully listen to others. Darvin says on page 21 that if a CPV is well constructed, it will stimulate debate, discussion, and perhaps even anger on the part of the respondents. Those responding to the CPV might come away feeling frustrated or confused, but this is a fundamental part of the CPV process, a direct and anticipated result of asking them to consider complex issues in ways in which they might not be accustomed. Angry, frustrated. Learning means get students out of their comfort zone, right? I believe that learning means new ground. It means stepping into something you haven't been in before. I would say that it's uncomfortable. Angry and frustrated, pretty strong words though. But I love Darvin's approach to stirring up her students to grow, not allowing them to be complacent or comfortable. But what will the parents say? What will the administrators say? What if they don't like this approach? What if it makes conversations happen in the home that are not comfortable, Like, a lot of consequences and issues can come from teaching this way. Depending on the school, it may look completely crazy to teachers. I think that it is worth the skills that we are trying to create in our students. Putting them in a situation that is uncomfortable, we can do it in a way, we can scaffold it in a way that's not so scary. The way a CPV is created is gentle in the beginning, with students just responding through paper, and then discussing with peers, and then presenting, and then going back and reflecting. So the process is slow. But each teacher needs to decide in their situation, in their school, what is best for their students, and if this kind of approach is worth it depending on who they're working with. So, could counter storytelling and CPVs work in our classrooms? They require a cautious hand and a safe environment, but I believe that the outcomes are going to be way worth it for our students.